So while every one of y'all are out there protesting, they're still putting up them towers. It's all still going up. I think mainly, I want to say that they're starting in cities first, because that's the most, I guess, crowded area where they can essentially murder a ton of people by putting these boxes and towers and antennas and whatever machines that they're going to roll out to push this gigahertz energy. And while they're putting those out, it'll literally be, you know what, they might let it go on till the fall, like they keep saying. And then once the fall hits, which is exactly, from what I understand, the same amount of time, maybe a little bit more extra time, to where Donald Trump had, I guess he passed some law saying that he wanted to have it all done in 180 days or some shit. I can't remember if that was the exact number or whatever, but regardless, they're gonna put all this shit out there, and then once they turn it on, everybody and your mother's gonna be fucking sick, rushing to the hospital, yada yada yada, and then there'll be no more protesting, period. You know what I mean? You gotta think about this shit. If 5G is for crowd control, what perfect way to bring it out amidst rioting, you know, a big crowd rioting and destroying shit, whether it's, you know, these people are being paid to do it or not. It's still happening. But what better way to bring that out now so that they can test it on real life people? You know, everyone this other thing too about everybody saying, oh, well, you know, it's funny how everybody forgot about COVID. Well, where the fuck are y'all getting that from? We're still mandatory wearing masks. We still have to mandatory keep distance. And then not all the fucking shops and shit are open. So how did it all of a sudden we just forget about it? Oh, well, everybody's going out there and riding and you know, standing right next to each other, da 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 da. And they're gonna use that to blame it on the second wave, you know, whether they do or not. I'm just speaking through my thoughts, man. But what better way to set it all up to get a bunch of people sick who are in big crowds of thousands of people? You know what I mean? I mean, what better way? People got to understand, and it's just funny how, like, I don't know, maybe people are still talking about it. I know there's a couple people, like the Fullerton Informer, and honestly, that's the only person that I can think of, or StopTheCrime.net. I don't know what, Deborah Tavares. I could not remember her name for the life of me. I know she's talking about it, but for the most part, there really ain't not many people talking about it. At least not right now. I mean, I'm sure there are other people talking about it, but you get what I'm saying. And I don't know. I just feel like they throw distractions in your face so that you stop talking about what you're talking about, because 5G is still being put together. It's still being put into place, and what better way to test it all out while riots are happening, since the Dutch secretary or somebody, I can't remember what position she had, in something, I don't know. She said it was strictly for crowd control, you know. And back then, we were all like, well, what do you need? Well, I wasn't saying it, but people were like, you know, well, what do we need crowd control for? There's nothing happening. There's no riots. There's no nothing. Well, boom, look what happened. You see how that works? You know, you see how that ties in together? I don't know, man. I just been chilling lately. I ain't been really trying to make videos every single day like I was. Just because I don't know, I just feel like it gets to a point where it just becomes so fucking diluted. You know, the information, and you know, it just comes to a point where, yeah, your opinion matters, but you know, I don't know. I just feel like we should be really, and this is with me, you know, not necessarily anybody else, but we should be able to pick and choose important things to talk about, you know, instead of constantly just reporting on the same shit, like High Impact Vlogs. I love the guy to death, and I think he's a great channel. I love listening to him, but to me, what you're doing, I can't remember what his name is, damn it, but either way, what he's doing, whether he sees it or not, is it's like this. If you know that something is wrong and something is programming you and you don't watch it, okay, then you kind of beat the system, so to speak. But when you know that it's bad for you and you sacrifice your own self to put yourself through that programming, even though, you know, yeah, you resist most of it, but eventually you'll get so used to just listening to it, you'll fucking forget what you're doing, you know, if that makes any sense, man. And I feel like anybody can be influenced. Anybody can be influenced to do something that they don't necessarily want to do because they're forcing themselves to watch mainstream television. And I don't know, man. Like, I get where there's police brutality and, you know, people are dying every day, but there's no fucking reason to report on every single person who dies. Because just look at it like that too. You know, a certain amount of people die a year, whether it's from car accidents, alcohol, drugs, disease, whatever. You know, freak accidents, fighting, murder, suicide. There's a ton of it. Imagine if every person that died we reported on. Alright? Imagine how chaotic and how much of a I don't know, like a psycho society we would have if we literally were conscious of every single person who's dying. You know, it would make this place look like, and maybe that's what needs to happen. I don't know. I mean, maybe there's some people who can handle it and some people who can take it a certain way and learn to build from it. But, you know, we've been programmed to just, oh, somebody died, okay, no big deal. Oh, a million people in this country died, oh, okay, no big deal. You know, you just brush the shit off. But maybe if we weren't programmed to just brush the shit off, then maybe people would stand up and be like, you know what, that person doesn't deserve to die, we need to figure something out, you know? But that's the thing, when they desensitize you to murder and filth and negativity, eventually you get used to it. Why? Because it's something you see every day. You know what I mean? It's just like, if you wake up every day and somebody's, I don't know, whatever, fighting in front of your house, and you watch this guy get punched in the face every single day. Well, the first day it's gonna be like, oh shit, and the next day it might be, oh shit, but after a week of it, you're gonna be like, yeah, we know, you punch him in his face, big deal, no big deal. It's just desensitizing you from violence and shit like that to accept it. Not necessarily accept it, but to accept it to a certain extent. And I think that goes against us, Which also kind of, honestly, I feel like it kind of correlates with us, like for instance, people talk about this George Floyd shit, and they're talking about how, all people had to do who were watching and videotaping him was go over there and fucking either duff the cop out or fucking, spear his ass off to get him off of his neck, and, it could have saved his life. And this is just hypothetically speaking, because I don't believe any of it was even real. I mean, whether he died or not, I don't know, but, we won't ever know that because, they control the narrative at this point, and we just fucking react off of it. And, the fear of this authority figure in this uniform, they're humans just like us, they have a uniform on, but that uniform, for some reason, man, it changes a whole fucking thing to where, can't do this, you can't defend yourself for a cop because they're gonna kill you, which I get, but we need to start fucking saving each other's lives, man. I don't know, man. I get it, it's touchy, because then other people can die, and then, a shooting could happen, police could shoot a bunch of people. Like, I get it. Pick and choose your battles to where you're going to be safe, because obviously trying to fucking scream at these cops and reason with them as you're screaming with them is not going to do anything but fucking raise emotions and raise their fear level or whatever, because now they feel like they're being threatened from all over the place, and now that's exactly what we're going through now, is because people are in fear of the cops. And I mean, don't get me wrong, they have every right to do so, but not every cop is a bad cop. Not every person is a bad person, And just because your skin color is fucking dark doesn't mean that you're some fucking criminal, man. That shit irritates the fuck out of me. Like, I see this shit every day, people fucking in their car, and certain person with a darker skin tone or whatever the fuck it is passes there, and they lock their fucking cars, and I'm just like, yo, like, I mean, they do the shit with me too, because I guess I look like a fucking hoodlum. I don't know. I maybe I look like a hippie pothead, whatever. I know I don't look like a no go hard motherfucker, but people get nervous with me too, and it boggles my mind, because what they're doing is just judging off of your appearance and what you dress like, and how long your hair is, and I don't know, just whatever the case is. And it's fucking stupid, man. When did it ever become a point? I mean, when did it ever become a thing to where, because your skin color is dark, that all of a sudden you're viewed as a fucking criminal, man? Well, A, that's because of the media manipulation and the choice words that they use. When there's a quote-unquote black person on TV, they're always fucking, they're always called thugs, and, anything less than fucking human, that's what's being thrown at them, but then when, quote-unquote, a bunch of white people, riot because their sports team lost. It's okay. The fans are just angry and because their team lost. And we also got to understand that there's a reason why they fucking do that, is to get us to think exactly the way they want us to think, which is that there's this invisible line between people who have more melanin and less melanin, when really there isn't. We're all the same fucking people. And I know for a lot of people it's hard to understand that, we're not the same, whatever. Well, that right there to me is just fucking ignorance, because, it's just ignorance, man. I don't know how else to fucking address that shit. Yes, you can be proud of your own race, but you don't have to fucking hate another. And I know not everyone's doing this. And it's not just one, what we call race of people. It's not necessarily, but do all races of people participate? Yeah. You have pro-black people, and you have pro-white supremacists or black supremacists, whatever you want to call them, whatever you want to label them as. Like, I don't know, man. It's like, only time I'm gonna knock somebody who's pro whatever is when they're teaching their own race or their own, family of people that this race is inferior or whatever the case is. And then, for instance, like these Hebrew, I think they're Hebrew Israelites, or they're, I don't know. Well, I don't know what the fuck their name is. There's this one dude that's like the most famous out of all of them. Big old 6 foot, 300 pound dude, Sakari, or I don't know if that's the gang that they're in, or I don't know. I don't fucking know nothing about him, except I've seen him in DC, and when white people walk past, they do nothing but try to instigate and get you to stop, so and feed into their negative bullshit. And literally last night I saw this stupid ass crackhead fucking lady go up there and kiss the fucking feet of these people, and it's just like, what the fuck are you thinking? This world was meant to give everyone a different status so that you can think you're better than everyone. But when it's all stripped away, you're the same fucking person breathing the same fucking air as me. These people out here, and this is like goes with the KKK too. Be proud of whatever heritage you came from. But it comes to a point in time when you start fucking killing people that because you think that your race is better, you deserve to die. You don't deserve to live. Why? Because you're fucking ignorant and you're fucking stupid for thinking what you think. It's just crazy, man, to think about it now. That we claim that, we got rid of racism a long time ago, man. Like, there's no segregation no more, and blah, 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 whatever. And if you believe that, you're a fucking idiot too. Because it's so much worse now in certain ways. Yes, it's better in certain ways, but, it's, I don't know, man. I hate talking about it because it's so touchy, and I don't want to say one thing and it sound like I'm going against another thing, and it has nothing to do with that, man. When it comes to me and it comes to where I stand with human fucking beings. Whether you're whatever you think, if we were all able to strip the race shit and strip the color bullshit and strip the differences and realize that if the world ended tomorrow, alright, it don't matter if you're white, black, Asian, fucking African, Jamaican, Japanese, Iranian, Venezuelan, Mexican, whatever, Albanian, it don't matter. And that's what needs to happen, man. You know? But who am I, right? Who am I? I am just some fucking hippie pothead kid who wants to see the world differently. But nobody else, or the majority of people, can't seem to fucking get it, man. But, you know, it is what it is, and I'm going to keep doing my videos, whether you like it or not, whether you agree with it or not. But all that fucking superiority race bullshit needs to give it. We need to fucking evolve from that shit, man. And think about how hard it's going to be for a person who's the leader of a clan of KKK, and then flip it to the opposite, and think about how hard it's going to be for, you know, pro-black person who despises race or Europeans or white people, whatever you want to call them, which is a bunch of bullshit too. Either way, the white and black thing. But think about how hard it is because of their pride, their ego. They're gonna have to let all that shit go, man. And it's gonna be hard. You know, I'm not saying it's gonna be easy, but if we meet the anger and the negativity with love, instead of feeding it with more negativity and anger, then I think we might have a chance, man. Because, like I said, you think it's worse, you think it's bad now, just wait till next year. I mean, the shit that's going to be unleashed, it's scary. But that's all I wanted to say.